anniversary. Please welcome Philip Seymour Hoffman. It's like you're in Kiss, you know.
Well, this was a gift.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's like, this is a fantastic hat, and I want to represent.
You did a good
I want
job.
to represent.
We appreciate that.
Yeah.
You appear to be a confident actor, but when you walk onto a set as an actor, are you confident in the character?
Actually, acting's a lot of terror. You know what I mean? It's a lot like what you're feeling right now. Yeah. You know, it's like being in front of people. You know what I mean? It's you know, it's something. You know, but there's a thrill and there's obviously a lot that goes into it. So it's a whole different beast to directing.
Yeah, but that's why when the first day you walk on set and you have to make a call, it's like, oh, wait a minute. I remember being the actor who thought the director's call was the wrong call.
That's right. Yeah.
You're that guy.
That's right. But when I started directing in the theater, I started to see all the things that directors were giving me notes on that I would get all flummoxed about. And I realized, oh, that was bad what I did. I shouldn't do that again. And I'm going to tell this guy not to do that. And it was this great learning experience. It really humbled me, and it showed me a lot of things. And I'm grateful that I got that experience because I saw, you know, speed up and stuff.
This business that you're in, it can be really isolating, certainly on a set. Talk with the need for friendship and loyalty and those kind of connections in your workspace.
Well, that's the thing. It's, you know, to get up in front of people, it's a trust thing, you know what I mean? And that you have to be working with people who you trust and who you can take risks with, who you can be who you are around, which isn't always pretty, you know what I mean? It's like, those are the people that you become incredibly close to in an artistic relationship, because those are the people you know you can be and do whatever that is in order to accomplish the goal at hand.
When you're working and you're not around those people, is it harder for you to, those first few days, even just in your life, is it harder for you to be who you are?
It depends, you know? It depends. And I think you realize is when you meet somebody, it depends on if the person is there to give or not give, you know, and we all do that. You know, we're all like givers and takers at any given moment in our life. But I think the interaction in life with strangers or acquaintances, it always turns out better if you're interacting in a giving place. You know, I know that sounds very kind of one-on-one psychology, but I do find that as I grow older that those are the better interactions. That if you run into somebody who wants something right away, that's always a little bit harder, you know what I mean? And I think that's the thing about the creative relationships, is that the best ones are about, like I said, be who you need to be. Yeah. I'm here for you no matter what, that kind of thing. It really does create a bond.
Plus, you, me, and a lot of people are in that generation now where you reach your late 30s and your early 40s, where we delayed adulthood for a long time.
Yeah, that's our generation.
We really are the ones.
Embarrassing.
Our parents' generation went and built countries.
Ooh, yeah.
But the craziest part about embracing your own adulthood, which you're in that stage now, is when you kind of look and go, oh, okay. So now, not that you see the end, how are you dealing with that?
Well, you know, I met a woman, Mimi O'Donnell, when I was 30. Yeah. And when we were 34, we had a child. And now we have 3. And I'm 43. And I'm still wondering if I'm an adult. Do you know what I mean? As I look at my 3 kids. Or I'll be like, we have a third? Oh, yeah. And it is an amazing thing, you know, this desire to hold on to that youth because you see it going, you know? Mm-hmm. And that's what's great about kids, I have to say. It's like everything that became old and kind of morose about growing, you know, like holidays or birthdays or summertime, you know, now is all great again. You know, like we just went through a summer with our kids. It's an incredible thing going through, because you forgot, remember summer when you were a kid? Summertime. You know, you get to become an adult, and summertime's work. And it's just a continuation of work, you know, and restaurants and, you know, coffee and sleeping and napping and stuff. And And then all of a sudden, kids, it's like, oh, summer, yeah, that's where we're going to go to the beach. We're going to do this. And so that's pretty amazing. That's a beautiful thing. You know?
But do you then look around going, now I'm my dad?
I'm my dad, and now I understand, and why did I give my dad such a hard time? Now I get it. This isn't easy. It isn't easy to love something as much as you love a child. Mm-hmm. It's like looking into the sun. You know what I mean? It's intense.
Do you have life lessons from your folks that you go, I didn't used to subscribe to this, but now I really want to impart this on your kid?
That just to stay. I mean, life lessons. You know, to stay in it with the kids. I mean, that's the thing. It's hard, from what I just said, because no matter what they do, no matter how out of hand they get or whatever it is, that love, my experience, that love is that intense, and it can make you crazy. You know, that kind of love makes people crazy. And as we all know from being parents and witnessing our parents, you know, and that's the lesson that I've learned. Like, I look back now and go, oh, okay, that's why my dad couldn't handle that.
Right.
Or that's why my mom couldn't handle that.
Well, we forget our parents had lives.
Yeah,
They were
exactly.
people with stories.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before I go answer apology, I want to ask you, your mother was a judge, right? Like a family judge?
She was a family court judge,
I'm
yes.
assuming not like Judge Judy. But
Yeah,
more...
no, not like Judge Judy, yeah.
That's a strong role model to have in your life. Did you
Powerful, yeah.
Yeah?
Well, when I was 9, I think, I'm one of 4, and my mom, when she was 37, my parents split up around them, and my mom went to law school. She was 37 and had 4 kids, and in Buffalo. She became a lawyer, and in 2000 she ran for family court judge, and she became. So yeah, that tells you a little bit about, you know, her makeup.
And that sort of would be instilled in you as well, the idea of, well, just go do it if you need it.
Yeah, that's my mom. Yeah, she's, you know. It makes you have a very bad relationship with money, because she was just like, what money? What's money? You know what I mean? Just go do it. You know, but Mom, I might need money to go to school, you know, and but she's had that mentality, you know, if you want to do, I absolutely. She would actually say that. I remember that. Oh, absolutely, yeah.
It's kind of liberating, because a lot of guys don't get that experience with their family.
No, well, I mean, my dad, I think, was more conservative on that level, you know, which also has its merits, you know, but my mom was, yeah. She was driven that way, you know, and she did, and all our kids.
Is fear a motivating factor for you?
At times, yeah, you know, and it mostly hits me when I'm about to do something that's incredibly difficult, you know, and especially if that thing is in front of people. You know, like John and I did this production of Othello like a year ago, and which was I played Iago, incredibly difficult. And it's impossible to not experience an acute fear in the middle of that, you know, and it motivates you, you know, you get motivated.
Do you manage it well?
Sometimes you implode and you just try to get through it, you know, and then that's a lesson. Then that happened, you know what I mean?
Let's do some anthropology. I'm just going to throw some questions at you. What's the silliest thing you've ever done for love?
Oh my God. Well, you know what? The thing that's popping into my mind is about Mimi, but it's really silly and it's so beautiful that the girl that I have a family with now, I called her. She broke up with somebody. It had been a year. I still hadn't asked her out. So I was sitting in a chair waiting to call her, and I couldn't get up. The phone rang while I was in the chair. I answered as a friend of mine. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm trying to call Mimi O'Donnell on a date. And he's like, listen, I'm going to hang up the phone. I'll call you back in 20 minutes. If you haven't called her and asked her out, you are an effing... And I was like, okay. So then I did. I left her a message. So this is the story. She called me back 24 hours later and left me. She said, yes, I would like to go out. Well, she told me a year later that her sister had said, when you call him back, bend over and talk to him so your voice doesn't sound too high and so you don't let him know you're nervous. So just picture, there's this woman calling me back like this. Yes, I would like to. And she actually did that. And so like, that tells you a lot about how kind of crazy we were about each other.
That's amazing, though. What's the hardest thing you ever had to let go of?
Outcome, any plan, because when I think any plan I thought I had about where my life was going to go, I've had to let go.